What's up, people? It's been a minute. We haven't had much going on in boxing, so I just try and keep my mouth shut instead of, getting into Twitter beefs and shit like that. I don't even fucking know what Twitter is, really. I don't have a Twitter account. I don't have a Instagram account, none of that shit. But, anyways, I'm watching T Street Controversy. Great channel. I'm sure everyone knows about T Street. Uh, yeah, he's getting a lot of popularity now because of the so-called fight that Fred, the hair salon politician, that won't shake a white man's hand. You mean to tell me you ran as a politician and a white man comes up to shake your hand, and instead you ball up a fist, throw it in the air, and yell "Black Power"? Bullshit, you lying motherfucker. You've shook plenty of white man's hands. Alright? Anyways, yeah, props to you for wanting to fight someone that just came out of coma. Alright? Get well, T Street. You got an excellent channel that ain't race baiting like you know who. But I noticed the price and I had to check it for myself. God damn, they're trying to get $75 or $74.95. You can put it like that if you want, out of us again. And it's like, Spence is one of my favorite fighters. Mikey Garcia isn't. And it goes back to the Salido fight when his nose got broke. And I'll just say him being the A side and his brother running over, talking to the commissioner, got him out of that fight. Alright, now just go check out this Salido Mikey Garcia fight and tell me he wanted out of that ring when his nose got broke. Now that means you ain't cut for this business. You ain't cut to fight Spence. Alright? Excuse me, let me get some water real quick. Water. Can't get too much water, people. 95% of the population's walking around dehydrated and they don't even know it. Alright, where was it? Garcia, Spence, and the price of pay-per-view. You know, I've been telling everyone for a year now. Last pay-per-view I bought was Golovkin, Canelo, the first fight. Alright? And that is the last pay-per-view I will pay for until we get the fight that we want. Alright? Nobody wanted Spence versus Garcia. Alright? We wanted Spence to fight Thurman. But Thurman's hurt and on his way back, and so whatever. I don't know if we'll ever get that fight. Garcia, we want him to fight Lomachenko. So we're not getting the fight we want, We're getting this fucking mishmash shit put together again, where we want to see A fight B, and instead we got C fighting Z. We got a guy that isn't even in the weight class. Garcia is moving up, what? A whole weight class. It might even be two. It's basically two weight classes. I think he fought one at junior welter, maybe. Anyways, he look, he ain't gonna beat Spence. Alright, this is a fucking it ain't a fair fight when you ask me. Spence is I'm gonna go out there on a limb and say Spence is the biggest welterweight in the history of the sport, really, when it comes down to it, because We got guys that can rehydrate differently. If you're young and watching this, I'm gonna let you know in the 80s, I probably started I was watching boxing since I was a baby, but back then in the 80s, you could the weigh-in was the same day. Okay, so you couldn't gain all this weight. And props to the IBF, which Earl Spence is the title holder at the IBF, for putting in the the stipulation that they can't weigh over 15 pounds higher than the original weigh-in at the weigh-in date. Props to them for doing that. But it still doesn't stop a fighter from gaining 15 pounds, or I'm pretty sure it's 15 pounds. Remember, when I do a video, I'm doing it off the top of my head. I'm not Googling shit, and I'm not going to. But yeah, back in the day, fighters fought. They weighed in the same day they fought. So since the new, you can weigh in 48 hours later basically started, we had fighters just blowing up. And Earl Spence is as big as a welterweight can get. Alright? So, Earl didn't have a fight, too much politics. He ain't going to fight Crawford ever. Like he said, they're on the other side of the street. Them politics with Bob Arum and Al Heyman, they won't work together until there's enough money built up. And it's enough of this bullshit, people. Steal this fucking fight. Okay? Steal it. Stop supporting bullshit that we don't want. Like, I'm not going to pay money being a fan of Earl Spence just because Spence is fighting. Nah, it don't work like that. I want to see him fight someone that is worthy. I want to see him fight Crawford, really. And we've been wanting to see that fight. But Mikey Garcia, he's in it for the money. He made it clear he's in it for the money. So he's going to fight Spence, and they're going to charge us $75. And I'm not going to buy shit. I'm going to steal it. This is JR. Peace out.